This study was designed to basically look at whether or not bird species in the northeastern part of Illinois were changing their egg laying dates over time. And we were able to look at data sets that covered a span from 1870 up to about 1930 in the egg collections. And then we combined those data with modern sampling that was done by co-authors of mine on this paper. And we were able to show that a number of the species are actually moving forward in terms of their egg laying dates, which is something that's consistent with lots of things going on in the environment, such as the leafing out of trees or the emergence of insects. We learned that birds in the Chicago region, at least some species, are nesting as much as 25 days earlier now than they were back in the early 1900s and late 1800s. Individuals are basically trying to preserve or continue. What this is telling us is that our activities, because we know that climate change is accelerating as a result of human activities, has a major impact on the flora and fauna around us. And by that I mean that they have to respond to what's going on. Now, those responses could be things that aren't affecting populations, but they could be things that are affecting populations. And until we have these long-term data sets where we're monitoring what these populations are doing and when they're doing it, we really don't understand what's going on in the environment around us. It tells us that birds are tracking changes in climate, and this is something that's been known in other groups of organisms. It's also been studied in birds in various places, but it's really important to document this across geographic scales and more species, because these are things that we need to understand as birds, for instance, change in their population numbers. All these eggs could have been laid side by side to one another, and it's an adaptation to be able to... These collections are timestamps for avian biodiversity in a lot of ways. And this is an egg of an American robin, and it was collected in 1905. Insect numbers have been shown to be declining too, although again, it's hard to have good data on what each species of insect is doing. And insects in turn are responding to plant leaf out, and so that's also something that's moving forward in time. So all these things are tied together in the environment, and this is one of the things that scientists come together to gather data for, to understand overall patterns. Let me just shut the case. For eggs, we have about 25,000 sets of eggs, and they're probably on the order of 50 to 60,000 individual eggs across the whole collection. And it dates from the 1870s up until the 1920s.
They do nest in the area. So the reason that they're nesting earlier is because the conditions that are conducive for nesting occur at earlier times of the year. What I'm looking for in the field when I'm searching for nests is primarily behaviors that adult birds exhibit that I refer to early on as nesty behavior. And this is things like gathering material to build a nest, or grabbing food and not consuming it, but taking it with them, probably to feed young that are in the nest, and other sorts of behavior. Once you find a nest, you record the pertinent information, and then you have to keep a careful record of the nest as it proceeds. American robin, this is white-crowned sparrow, rufous-sided towhee, male and female.